Welcome back for another People I Meet. Okay, so I keep promising to tell you about some of my one date wonders and I keep forgetting. Okay, so here's a couple. One day I went out to meet a guy at Chili's, and after years of me planning the thing, because the guy would be like, "Hey, let's meet, let's hang out," and he'd be like, "What do you want to do?" And I'd plan it just because I would, be polite. And I finally made this guy. I'm like, no, you plan it. You choose the time. You choose the place. And so he did. So we met at Chili's at 8. And I'm texting him at like, 1:45. And I'm like, hey, I came. I'm a little bit early. And he's like, oh, okay. I had to work a little bit late. You know, actually, I'm lying. He didn't say that until much, much later. So he doesn't respond until like 8:15. And he's like, oh, I have to work late. I'll probably be another hour. And I'm like, another hour? Dude, you chose the time and the place. No, I'm not waiting around. But I was already there. So I went and found a table with two women because I didn't want to interrupt a date, but I'm like, I'm hungry. So I was the weird one, interrupted these two women and asked them if I could sit with them. And one was kind of snotty towards me and one was pretty nice. And I saw the one who was being snotty screwing around on Facebook, and she was like, oh, I need to find a male stripper by Saturday. Well, I happen to know a male stripper. And so I Facebook him and I'm like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday? Can you do a gig? And so I'm like, well, hey, Facebook, let's add me on Facebook so you can hook up, give my friend a gig. And she's like, oh, I don't do Facebook. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then her friend was like, well, I do, so add me and I'll tell her. Okay, so you're being all snotty to me when I can find you a male stripper at the last minute? Because it was like Thursday. Really? Where else are you going to find a male stripper at the last minute in Utah? There aren't a lot of male strippers around here, believe me. I know, okay? Do you know how many years it's taken me to meet male strippers? There aren't any male strip clubs. I know that too. So, getting stood up, that was one date. Another guy I went out with once or twice, or because I kept saying yes. Didn't mean I liked him. It didn't mean anything. It meant he kept asking. He had prosthetic legs, and I was like, oh, of course, what happened? And he said that he fell off of a 5-story window ledge when he was on his mission. Again, Mormons, the missionaries go when the men go when they're 19, the women go when they're 21, at least in my day. Now the men go when they're 18, the women go when they're 19. So I'm like, okay. Years later, I found out he didn't fall, he jumped. But it wasn't suicide. He and his companions, he and the other, they're called elders, and the women are called sisters. He and the other elders he lived with were experimenting and wanted to see if a blanket worked as well as a parachute. P.S. No, it does not. So yeah, I can see why he'd stick with the I fell story. Wow. And I've gotten a lot of second date proposals because I was waiting for marriage for a long time, and then I stopped going to church, and then I was waiting for love, and then I was waiting for not a douchebag. And the first guy I slept with when I was 34, I told him this and he was like, wow, your standards have really gone down. No, actually, have you tried dating men? Not a douchebag is still kind of a tall order. So, yeah. So those are some of my one date wonders. Didn't ever end in sex because like I said, I was waiting for marriage forever. And now that I'm not easy, even if I do have a tramp stamp. Jeez, I might have slipped up on the not a douchebag for a couple of guys, but we're getting back on track now with the not a douchebag thing. So those are a couple of my one date wonder stories. We'll come back with more because there are lots, and they say weird things and they have really weird pickup lines, and I'm really photogenic, so they expect me to be thin, and I'm like, and I tell them I'm fat, and they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, I'm not fishing for compliments, I'm just being straight up. And then they meet me and they're all, oh, she is fat. And then they're disappointed, and then they kind of think that they're doing me a favor for still wanting to bang the fat chick. Yeah, I'm still sexy AF, so no. And yeah, so then I put like full body pictures up, and then I get like ass men who are way more perverted than boob men, even though I got it going on in both. So, and stomach and thigh because I'm fat. But it's cool because most women wait till they get married to get fat and crazy, and you already know what you're getting yourself into with me. And I'm still not getting married. Okay, so that was a couple of more one date wonders. Bye!